And there is a huge element, to be honest, of anti-blackness in a lot of this, anti-black Americanness specifically. And Paula and I have talked about this, that there is a part of that anti-blackness is a piece of it, even though Enrique Tarrio, who's the head of the Proud Boys, is a black Latino, but he's down with white supremacists, down with them. And there's this idea that I'm black, but I'm not black. I may look black to you. I may be black if I'm walking through Bloomingdale's and get followed around. But in my mind, I'm identifying with whiteness because whiteness means privilege and it means not being a black American.
All right. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Activism has clearly taken over the legacy media. Now, what MSNBC has going on over there is absolutely far left propaganda. Most of the stuff is not rooted in reality, but the reality that they operate from does not line up with the reality of people who voted in this election, even people from their own party. Now let's go back to the claim that she made that there's anti-blackness with what happened in this election. Clearly, you guys know that I'm black. My mother and father are both black, okay? I can confirm to you by living in California and in Houston, Texas, that my life has not been dominated by racism. Have I come across people who clearly hated me, maybe not for the color of my skin, but maybe because they had hate in their heart for whatever reason? Yes, I have. But does that tell me as a black person that this country is racist? No, it does not. It just shows me that there are people in this country who clearly have something going on up here and definitely in here. That's got nothing to do with me.
Let's be honest about this, okay? Let's be absolutely blunt about it. There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country. And anybody who thinks that that did not in any way impact on the outcome of this race is wrong.
Okay, now I saved the best for last, because if you followed me during election night, I went over the 13 keys by Alan Lichtman, who also is a professor who claims that his 13 keys have predicted every single election correctly. And the only reason why I'm making room for him in this video, because he is spewing the same rhetoric that we are talking about in this video. Yes, this is what he has succumbed to. Instead of admitting that he's just wrong in how he perceived his 13 keys, he went the lazy route and blamed it on sexism, racism, and misogyny. Watch this madness.
Because the keys depend upon a rational, pragmatic electorate deciding based on governance whether the incumbent party should get 4 more years. And we've seen the explosion of some trends that have existed before, but not to this extent. Disinformation. You know, Elon Musk is, I don't know how many hundreds of billions he has. He has been the director of misinformation. 2 billion views of his spreading of disinformation, not just about the economy, but about immigrants, about minorities. We've never seen disinformation at this scale. Next, we have never seen to this scale the agitation of 3 trends that have been very deeply embedded in American history: misogyny, racism, and xenophobia.
Let me remind you guys, these are the individuals that are teaching the new generation. What data point does he have to support the statement that it was sexism, racism, and misogyny? None. This is their opinion. This is part of their belief system. This is the way that they see the world. But again, it's not the actual world we live in. It's the world that they have chosen to live in. And anything that counters that, what do they call it? Disinformation, misinformation.